have no ability to control. We now present The Onion Explains Nuclear Proliferation. The world's nuclear facilities are safeguarded by a bunch of really huge guys. We're talking absolutely jacked. With one of these muscle freaks stationed outside every missile silo and uranium processing plant worldwide, there's no way to get anywhere close to a nuclear complex without getting your ass beat. This nuclear facility in Siberia is rumored to be among the most secure in the world because they have like 6 of these. And you can just forget about hijacking a nuclear submarine too, because all of them have these totally roided up dudes that'll just swim up to you and choke you out.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and we are here, of course, as we always are, to allow you to take control of the airwaves. You can bring up anything that you want. All you have to do is dial in toll-free. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, so feel free to hop into any one of those, and we will be able to put you directly on the air that way, and you will sound fantastic, almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And in that studio tonight, you've got me, Ian.
There's nobody.
And Mark.
So I wanted to start out tonight with some audio that I've been holding on to for, I don't know, almost a couple weeks now, probably a couple weeks. We've been covering, of course, COVID over the last few months, not so much more recently because the protests and everything, and there's just not as much COVID news, thankfully. We've got other things to talk about, finally. But there was a question that I had asked, and we had discussed about Belarus, the country, the former Soviet bloc state that was getting news headlines internationally for not having a COVID crackdown, for not having a lockdown, for beyond that, having a president who actually was encouraging people to go out and party, basically. Go to the sports games, have some vodka. These were things that he literally was saying publicly at the time.
I think it was hot tubs and vodka.
That might have been
proposed as both, if not curative, then prophylactic.
Well, he did go to a hockey game as well, so he was encouraging people to go out and, be with other people and not allow this to change, not allow the COVID situation to change life in Belarus, which was a completely different reaction than what you saw in most of the rest of the world. The Brazilian president did make some headlines for being critical of COVID, but the Brazilian government did still do lockdowns, I think, in spite of whatever that president said. So one of the questions I'd asked on the air, and I wanted to know, what's it actually like? What is it like to be in Belarus? Because, we see an AP news story here. Yeah, we'll see another story from, let's say, some European headline or whatever, right? But there really wasn't a whole lot of information. It was usually the media perspective on Belarus was this crazy guy, dictator, president, whatever you want to call him. This crazy guy, he wants people to just go out and party. And that was sort of basically the story. So
sounds like nobody's kind of guy.
Yeah, he probably is a scumbag
he
politician.
Certainly didn't want some uprising against an authoritarian regime, I can assure you of that.
Yeah, he's probably a scumbag politician and probably is an authoritarian dictator. However, a broken clock strikes right a couple times a day, and he was right about this one. So
is he though? Because Belarus, I seem to remember Belarus being one of the former Soviet Union's
it's not one of the most free.
Oh, really? Okay.
No.
Because there was one of them. Maybe it was Estonia.
Estonia.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go and you look up the freedom rankings for the world, there's a few different charts, and Estonia is the best of the former Soviet states. I think they were in the 60th percentile or something. Belarus
Can
was.
you get stoned there?
Belarus was.
I thought it was even higher than that, but okay.
You think Belarus was higher than that?
No,
that's what I'm talking about. Belarus was, I believe, in the 60th percentile, and I forget on which study because there's a couple of different ones. So, turns out we have a listener in Belarus, at least one.
Wow.
And the gentleman, I think his name is Anton. He wrote to me via email and said he wanted to talk about what life was like in Belarus. However, calling in can be a challenge because it's like 3 in the morning when we start the show.
Right.
In Belarus. So I said, well, you could just go ahead and record some audio. Or I said, you can write something if you want. He said his English would be better if he spoke. And I said, well, you can go ahead and record some audio, and then we'll consider playing it on the air. And so I have the audio. I've had it for a couple of weeks, and just, we got other things to talk about. I haven't had a chance to really get this thing on the air. So I think now is a good time for that.
Yeah, I was sort of surprised. I mean, I know that Free Talk Live's had calls from all over the world, and Russia, and
Africa.
Yep, Antarctica one time. But whatever, it's just amazing.
You think it was true?
I don't know whether it was true or not. People have lied to me on the internet before, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I've known that to happen.
I've probably been lied to.
We got rid of that guy, though.
What, the guy on the internet?
The guy who lied to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that I've been lied to less on the internet than I have from Washington, D.C.
Well, I mean, good God. That's a low bar.
It's the lowest of bars, right? But don't worry, come November, it's going to be very important which liar and thief, which crooked old pervert you pick.
All right, so there's
Pick nobody.
Yeah, there's other stuff to talk about, of course, including the Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben story, which is just absolutely crazy.
Do they have a thing going on? I always wondered about that.
We can get into that, but I do want to play this audio from Anton. It's about 5 minutes. So he does get into, what's different about Belarus, what might be similar to what's happening in other places, and his personal experience with this. So I thought it was interesting, and I don't think this is dishonest. I think he sounds legit. Here you'll hear his accent. Here's Anton.
Hello, Ian. My name is Anton. I live in Belarus, Minsk. I want to share with you some information about the COVID-19 situation here in Belarus. At this moment, it is May 31st, 2020. We have 41,658 cases of COVID-19 and 229 people have died of it. Businesses, schools, universities, churches are opened.
I've looked it up before, but you're welcome to pull that up.
Schools, universities, churches are opened. Of course, there are some recommendations and regulations from the Ministry of Health, but no quarantine. Some people...
So regulations, recommendations, but no quarantine. So people are still free to go out. They're still free to run their businesses in Belarus, as free as they were previously.
9.5 million.
Some people
Thank you.
Self-quarantine themselves. Some people wear masks in public places, even in cars when they're alone, when nobody's around.
We've seen that here.
Yeah, I don't really understand the mask in a car when you're by yourself thing.
Maybe they don't want to touch it.
There could be a mouse in there or something.
You could be going to pick someone up and then attempting to mitigate the viral load inside the car.
I doubt most of the people I'm seeing.
There's always the possibility that someone will get exposed to secondhand humanity.
There's that, right? You could roll down the windows is another way to handle that.
Or maybe they don't want to...
That would let the germs from outside in.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the mask etiquette thing, but I have heard that some people have said that it's bad to supposedly readjust the mask constantly, so maybe that's part of it. They just put it on for their day and they just never take it off or something. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's got to be weird. Those things are awkward.
Crazy.
I haven't found one yet that's comfortable enough for all day.
Let's continue.
Have you been looking for a sports mask?
Well, if something's comfortable, it's comfortable.
True.
Nobody's around.
Oh.
I think mostly young people wear masks, not elderly.
Isn't that interesting? Mostly young people are the ones who are afraid and are wearing the masks, even though it's been pounded out there that it's the elderly who are at the greatest risk, et cetera, et cetera. I got to say, I feel like I see more older folks wearing masks around here.
They're probably the ones that have more to worry about, but over there in Belarus, perhaps the younger are more Western interested.
I think here that old people are more likely to trust the government than young people.
Could be. And maybe the older people in Belarus are old enough to remember how bad the government was to them, and so they don't trust the government.
Yeah.
There are businesses that were closed or went online, people working from their homes. Some schools and universities tried to teach via the internet. In some schools, administration tried to force children to wear masks in school and bring and use hand sanitizers. When this hit the news, the president promised to fire the persons responsible for this policy.
Now that is pretty impressive.
Well, it is, but I don't like the idea of presidents being able to fire random teachers. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to be able to do it, why not do it? Because they're too authoritarian.
Yep. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. More from Anton in Belarus about what are the differences between how the whole COVID-19 situation was handled there, which so far it's pretty different, and versus here and versus so many of the rest of the world where there have been total crackdowns, lockdowns, businesses closed, businesses going under as a result of that, economic destruction. 855-450-FREE if you want to join us. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. Anarcho Vegas 2020 is a conference about changing the world through personal actualization and creation through markets. Get inspired to better yourself and better the world. Speakers include Jim Bell, Larkin Rose, Avens O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. Get your tickets for just $20.20 at anarchovegas.com and use code FTL to save 10% off VIP tickets. July 19th, join Free Talk Live for anarchovegas.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're open and available to you at discord.lrn.fm. You're welcome to call in a comment on Belarus and the COVID lack of a crackdown that happened there, with the government issuing mere recommendations, which is what I think should have happened here in a free state or free country or whatever, which of course neither is the case here in the United States. But if it were actually a freer place, then that's how governments would have handled it. They would have said, well, here's what these so-called experts are saying. We believe this, so therefore we want you to have this information about what you can do to minimize your exposure.
Honestly, does the government need to be involved at all?
Well, government shouldn't exist, but as long as they're going to exist, people do want to be governed, right? Some people do want to be told what to do.
Mr. President, what's your comment on the COVID-19 situation in America? I am a politician, and I don't know why you would ask me such a question.
Right.
You should be talking to a doctor. Your doctor, a doctor, listen to doctors. By the way, I have no Trump imitations, so sorry about that.
Well, that's the other problem with this, is having some government doctor be this oracle, this all-seeing,
he's the one guy,
all-knowing. This one guy is going to write the prescription for the whole country.
Yeah, that's I don't understand that people don't see how that's a problem. Same thing with the Facebook thing, where we want Facebook to mark false ads. So you want to turn Facebook into the Ministry of Truth? Because they never lie. Seriously.
Right. And I think there are people who believe that, well, politicians are liars, but doctors wouldn't lie. We wouldn't have an authoritarian doctor seeking a position of head doctor of the whole United States. No, this would be a good man, a good person, or a good woman, or whatever, right? No, it's likely to be an authoritarian statist. Whoever it is that is in that role of top doc in whatever, I don't know what the official role is called.
Well, there's the Surgeon General, but that's not what Fauci is.
Yeah, so what
I'd have
the
to
hell
look
was
that up.
he?
He's like, I don't know.
Chief epidemiologist or something like that?
He's
to that
just
effect.
consulting on this thing, I think. I don't know that he has an actual government position.
Well, there are these positions, right?
They
General,
have this and that czars.
Yeah. So, why people believe these folks, these are just authoritarian doctors who are, or at least they're likely to be, right? Maybe there's a chance that a Ron Paul slips through the cracks, right, and actually gets into some sort of role like this. But the odds that are going to happen, very, very slim. So we're going to continue here.
He appears to be the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases.
National Institute, so that could be government. It's not. Who knows? It probably gets a lot of grants from government, would be my guess at the very least. The next generation wallet is coming, by the way, from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you're able to send money around the globe in only a swipe, or you will be when their wallet comes out, and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of their relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at DivvyProject.org, D-I-V-I project.org. As we continue with a voice message left on or sent to me via email from Anton. He's in Belarus, which I believe makes him a Belarusian. I think that's the term that he uses at some point.
Probably know better than I.
In this 5-minute long speech that he gives, essentially just kind of telling us about what's happening there in Belarus, or at least what was happening as of May 31st, which was when he recorded this. I've been hanging on to it. We don't make emails a priority on this show, but I wanted to get to this sooner rather than later, and this was as soon as I could work it in. So we're going to continue. He's kind of recapping that, yeah, there's been some recommendations from the Belarus government, but the main actor there, the president or the dictator or whatever you want to call him, Lukashenko, the guy who's been recommending that people just go on and live life, well, he actually apparently said he was going to fire the bureaucrats at the schools who were trying to force young people to wear masks into class. So there's been some pushback even from within the government against those other arms of the government who want to push the masks. The top-down authoritarianism is actually stopping them from doing that in the case of Belarus. Let me continue here with Anton's audio file.
I don't know the reason why we don't have a quarantine. Some people would speculate that our economy is already weak and will collapse if we would have a quarantine.
Well, that certainly didn't stop the Ugandan government gang.
Yeah, just about every other country, yeah.
Yeah, no matter what their economic circumstances, quarantines and crackdowns went into place. And I don't know if you were on the nights, Mark, that we had a gentleman call from Uganda. I've
been talking to people
in horrifying.
In Uganda. As you recall, we built an orphanage there,
right.
And the people there are suffering.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, more so than they would normally be suffering because of the this crackdown. It's made things a lot worse.
We would have a quarantine. Anyway, I'm glad that we don't have it, and I'm glad that life goes on. But most Belarusians don't like it. They blame Lukashenko for not forcing quarantine.
So most Belarusians are like most, it seems like, or at least a lot of Americans, where they want to have the government lording over them. They want to be told what to do. They want the government to tell everyone what to do for the good of the country.
There is a, it's a very human thing to do, to be happy when whomever in power does the thing you'd like them to do, for no matter what the reason.
Sure. You won. Your side won.
Right.
And in this case, it's protecting the health of your neighbors.
I would point out today that the
righteous.
Supreme Court released a ruling, an opinion, that the DACA kids, basically the kids that were immigrant kids who came across the border as children, and their parents, they didn't have really any control over it. So these are the dreamers, is another term that's used for them. And it's saying basically that the Trump administration cannot overturn the Obama administration's executive order on DACA. So the DACA people basically get to stay. How do you feel?
Well, I'm glad to hear that people are not going to be pulled out of their lives.
You're glad to hear that a president cannot make an executive order to overturn an executive order, that an executive order can take the place of a law, that we now have functionally, that the Supreme Court made Trump a king in the most backhanded fashion possible?
Well, that's one way to look at it, and I see where you're coming from there.
That's what I'm saying, is people are happy when the things go their way, but at the same time, like I can see, hey, good for you, DACA folks, you get to stay for another month and a half until the Republicans decide to pass a law or whatever the situation might be.
Yeah, no, I don't support the existence of the state at all, but if the state's going to exist and it's going to let some kids stay here, then okay, that's fine. So we go on here with more from Anton.
They blame him for all those COVID-19 deaths. There was even a lawsuit against him. It was dropped a few days ago. Hospitals around the country have like 2,000 ventilators, and only 10% of those are in use. Right.
We got more coming up here from what it's like in Belarus with this whole COVID situation where the state did not crack down. How much different are things? This is Free Talk Live.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, Hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute.
Holy crap.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. Just take control of the airwaves here. Although we are talking about life in Belarus. How was it different than, because you're seeing some places so-called reopen, which we discussed last night in some detail. But what's it like in Belarus, the place where they didn't close down to begin with? And how different were things there? We've got a listener who's in Belarus where it's like, 3 or 4 in the morning or something like that right now. So he recorded some audio for us. We're playing it back and commenting as we go through. By the way, with you in the studio here, it's Ian.
Nobody.
And Mark.
Thanks to Intercoin, every member of the community can receive periodic airdrops of money that they can use on necessities. This UBI can be funded by outside donors or by the community democratically voting to gradually inflate their internal money supply. Community currencies powered by Intercoin enable communities to help their own without waiting for the federal government and without disincentivizing paid work. The arrangement is completely voluntary and democratic. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in meat space, and we think that's important here on Free Talk Live. So important that FTL accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Incorporated for advertising. If you think freedom is important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. It's intercoin.org. As we go back into Anton from Belarus, telling us about what life is like there. Turns out they got ventilators too, and only about 10% of them are in use.
Do you remember the number of deaths that he said for Belarus? Because I think I have a number in mind.
Well, this was 2 weeks ago, so if you want, you can go and pull up the current numbers from the site that, what is it, ArcGIS, ARCGIS, I think, .com. There, it's always linked on the Drudge Report, or at least it has been for the last several weeks, and you can pull that up there. But let me continue while you do that.
The numbers that I was hearing suggested that, let's see, it appears as though there were...
Well, Belarus isn't the smallest number of infections in the world. I mean, it's there. They've got some people that have caught this thing, but so does everywhere else, and everywhere else had a crackdown.
Right. So he had sort of the claim that he blamed Lukashenko. Is that their dictators?
No, he does not blame Lukashenko. He likes the fact that there's no crackdown.
He liked that there were no
Putin
masks.
Blamed him. Was that it? Or the Russians? Was that what
No,
he said?
he said it was the Belarusians. The people, the majority of the people, or a lot of the people there are mad about what Lukashenko has done. The people who we see walking around in masks, who are the ones who are afraid, the Karens out there.
They want to see the manager.
Those are the people, these fear-minded people that are constantly living in a state of fear. They're mad at Lukashenko because he's not going along with the program. He is stopping any kind of mandatory crackdown from happening. And our caller or listener, Anton, he supports... In this instance, he probably doesn't generally support Lukashenko, but in this instance, he supports not having a crackdown. But a lot of people in Belarus are in favor of a crackdown that has not happened and will not happen.
Right. So I'm looking at a map of COVID cases.
Is this the ArcGIS site?
It is not. It's Google.
Oh, different one. Okay.
And it appears as though so first off, the deaths, Belarus having about 9.5 million people, New Hampshire having about 1.4.
Yeah.
The deaths in Belarus are only marginally higher than New Hampshire's.
And New Hampshire had an insane crackdown.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking also at the surrounding countries, and it looks like, from what I'm seeing on this map, that there were more cases in Belarus than there were in sort of some of these surrounding places.
Maybe so.
Like
I said, they're not the smallest number.
Right. They're not the smallest number or anything like that, but you would think that it would be, if any of this crap worked, that there would be a much a bigger disparity, and there's not.
No.
And this appears to be per capita, and just not really impressive as far as these numbers go.
Everywhere else had a crackdown, and everywhere else had a massive, devastating effect to their economy.
To take the
people losing jobs and businesses.
Opposing side, perhaps Belarus, a landlocked nation surrounded by other nations, benefited from the crackdowns that the surrounding nations had. It's the best I got.
If you believed what they were saying, this was an insanely easy-to-get virus that would wait and jump on you from nearby surfaces.
Sure. Okay. Well,
and if you let people out of their homes, it's going to spread like crazy. They're even still saying it right now, Mark. They're saying, my God, Florida's going to be the new hot spot. It's going to explode in wave number 2. Wave 2 is happening now in Florida because they reopened restaurants.
Well, the wave is... There are more cases in Florida as time has gone by.
Fine.
I know that they're not. I know you don't. What I'm saying is that there is no cost to the prediction. Okay, so predictions should have a cost. If we're going to listen to people's predictions, there should be a cost to those predictions. But
the predictions may not have cost the people who made them any, but they cost us a bunch.
That's exactly right, especially if those predictions, well, whatever, the predictions have the cost that they have to us, the people that listen, and sadly, at least in modern society, we just don't listen. I mean, like, people who make bad predictions should be completely discredited and never listened to again.
That's not going to happen.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it's the CDC. They can do no wrong. What,
The
they did
CDC
wrong? Well, they'll do no wrong again.
Messed this up at the very earliest stages.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have that much of a problem with people making bad predictions. I don't think that's something. I mean, a lot of people predict things that didn't
take it with
happen,
a grain of salt.
That doesn't bother me much. It's when they back their predictions with force that I think action should be taken against them if they're wrong, and probably also if they're right.
Agreed.
So, I guess what I would say on this is that it isn't the person making the prediction that's at fault. It's the person listening to the prediction that's at fault. And if you're willing to listen to the prediction and then advocate force against your neighbor, because that's what this is all about. This is like, you should still be you should be inside. And okay, but remember what happened to the economy. I don't know
it's still happening.
How many people we saved in the absence of these, rules or what, right? In the absence of these rules, how many people were saved?
No way to know.
There's no way to know. Now, people can extrapolate numbers, but there's simply no way to know.
But we can look at numbers.
What I do know is I can figure this out. I can figure out, and it would take just a little bit of time on the internet. I can figure out how much money it cost. And it was...
Oh, but if it just saves one life.
Well, that's the thing, is what is a life worth?
I don't think that number could ever be calculated. Some subset of it has been reported and
you wait, how much money's been lost? Yeah, it'd be hard. It'd be impossible.
So many. Certainly nobody has any idea what I've lost through it because I haven't reported anything to anybody.
Well, you can figure out what, there's money moving in the marketplace, okay?
Yep. And now there's less of it.
It's likely that this is going to be more than $10 trillion.
I mean, at the very least, there's been a few trillion in just subsidies so far.
Government bailouts, printed money, and all that other good stuff.
There's a headline at the top of the Drudge Report right now saying the federal government is proposing a $10 trillion budget.
Well, there you go.
So there's 10 right there.
10 trillion. That's like over twice normal, isn't it? Don't they?
I think it was like 4 the most recent.
Yeah, the federal budget. It's just under 4.
Yeah.
That's 150% increase. That's insane.
Yeah, and that doesn't include whatever money printing, right? That they've been doing, does it?
It's hard to say. Yeah. So there's been stuff. Money printing doesn't count
because
money
there's
has
loans
been
that are
lost.
being closed, right? So it's hard to really know. It could even be deflation instead of inflation, unless they print crazier than they close loans out and things like that.
Right, but I can tell you this: the Federal Reserve and the banking system in the United States benefits because the United States government everything is going through the banks. They're getting their cut off of everything that goes through. This is, I've heard, the largest wealth transfer in history from the poor to the rich.
Really?
From the poor and middle class to the rich.
And
I believe
nice?
You can share your thoughts.
And ladies and gentlemen, you asked for it. You knew these people were liars and thieves. You knew they were crooks. You knew they stole. It was less than 10 years ago. And you fools let them do it again.
Well, 855-450 free if you want to join us here. 855-450-3733 Free Talk Live.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
This is a Corona Crisis Self-Reliance Alert. If you're worried about the power grid in the current crisis and want to generate your own supply of off-the-grid electrical power, just in case, pay close attention. Here's why. A limited supply of solar backup generators will be available again in the next 2 weeks. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical backup power when you get off the grid. And unlike gas generators, these solar generators run quietly, emit no fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Dangerous weather, social unrest, or overloaded grids this summer will not be a problem if you go to mysolarbackup.com and get your solar backup generator. We regret that supplies are limited and only available on a first-come, first-served basis. Check availability at mysolarbackup.com. Never suffer painful power outages again. Go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required. Only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want. All you have to do is dial in toll free at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. Also, want to say thanks to Matt Peralt, who is a Free Talk Live Silver amplifier.
For a long time.
Yep, and he, I believe, is going to be at the upcoming Fork Fest. He was there last year, so I expect he's going to be back.
We'll see him.
He lives here in New Hampshire. So thanks, Matt, for supporting Free Talk Live via the AMP program, via the silver level, which is $5 a month. If you like what we do here and you want to help support getting the message of freedom on more radio stations, for instance, we got over 190, I think 5 right now is our current number. We can do more than that. It just takes time. It takes money. And that's the whole point behind the AMP program. Advertise, market, promote, and you get some perks as well, some bennies, because you're an amplifier. You get some things that other people don't. So go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can learn more about what things you get access to and how to get signed up, which includes PayPal, it includes credit card, and Bitcoin BTC at amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go on. More with Anton from Belarus. He's kind of cluing us in, a personal account of what things are like on the ground there. So we don't have to rely on news media to give us any kind of information. We've got somebody there. He's a listener of the show, so he's heard all the conversations that, or a lot of them that we've had about COVID-19 and the insane crackdowns that we've seen. Mark, you pulled up the numbers from New Hampshire, which is where we are, and even though there are fewer, like about a ninth or an eighth of the number of population in New Hampshire as compared to Belarus, there's a similar number of deaths. So from the COVID, and Belarus has had no crackdown. Belarus had no lockdown. Belarus did not force businesses to close, and New Hampshire did all of those things. In fact, New Hampshire hasn't even fully reopened yet. There's still some businesses that are not yet allowed to be open, or other business owners who've decided they don't want to open yet, even though they could partially reopen. They'd rather wait until they can fully reopen and, be full on and be able to take their customers as they used to. So let me go on here with Anton's audio.
Now, it appears that 30% of people with pneumonia have COVID-19. Medical workers who work with COVID patients are paid more. Generally, their paycheck is about $400, but now they have bonuses and may get up to $1,600 as a bonus if they treat COVID-19 patients.
So we're seeing similar incentives here in the United States, where we've heard that hospitals, doctors, and such can get bonus money in some way, if whether it's directly to their paycheck, as he was saying it is in Belarus, or whether it's to the hospital itself or whatever. There's government money coming in to incentivize them to find COVID patients, which of course incentivizes falsification of numbers, lying about who died from COVID when they may not have.
Right. The famous one here at this point, there's a few excellent cases, is the George Floyd, the black man that was killed in Minnesota recently.
By the police,
had COVID.
Yeah.
Had COVID antibodies or something like that. Now, I just want to know, was George Floyd counted as a COVID death? Because I don't think it was COVID. I think it was that knee.
Yeah, good question.
And, secondly, there's some dictator in Africa who apparently sent like a papaya DNA, and I think it was tsetse fly DNA, some kind of insect DNA, and had them tested, and they came back positive for the coronavirus. And
very suspicious.
Now, maybe they've got a coronavirus. Maybe coronaviruses live in papayas and insects. Well, they certainly live in bats.
They tend to be, they actually do very well with respiratory ailments in general due to the not breathing.
So let me go on here. More from Anton.
And it created a situation when ambulance workers hunt for COVID-19 cases. These cases are pretty easy to handle compared to strokes, heart attacks, etc. And now real professionals with lots of expertise get hard cases because they can handle those better than weak workers, and those weak workers get COVID-19 cases and get paid more, up to 4 or 5 times more.
So he's saying that the experts,
the best doctors,
the doctors that can do heart repair or whatever, right? Like the high-end surgeons, the people that know what they're doing, they've still got to do these emergency surgeries. They still got to do, these.
People are still having heart attacks in Belarus.
But because you can get paid more if you find COVID cases, then the little guys are able to actually rake in some serious bucks because they can handle this. They have the time for it, especially if they're prohibiting people from coming into the hospital for elective surgeries or things like that, which happened here for sure.
More though than real professionals. Anyway, me personally, I was sick 3 or 4 times during this winter. Each time I had flu-like symptoms. I haven't been tested for antibodies and won't do that. I don't care, and I'm not afraid of COVID-19.
I'm the same way about that. Not only that, I wouldn't want to get on one of these lists. They've got these so-called contact tracers now. You pop in as one of these COVID people onto their database. Now they're going to be up your butt about where you go and who you talk to and so on and so forth. And that just doesn't sound particularly enticing.
I'm curious about the other direction. So what if you want to travel internationally? It's probable that at some point in the relatively near future, I'm thinking weeks or months here, that
can you even travel internationally right now? I've heard a lot of borders
are closed. It depends on the nation you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
So in weeks or months that there will be some kind of internationally agreed upon
Testing
COVID
thing.
test immunity
Horrifying.
certificate thing that you may have to have in order to come into the country. Now, consider that there isn't one for viral meningitis. There isn't one for, the flu.
AIDS.
Yeah.
AIDS. You pick the virus.
Right.
As scary as it might be, and there's some scary ones out there. Probably the most scary one is rabies, and they do, in fact, have requirements for animals and travel surrounding
they do. Yeah,
rabies.
that's true.
So rabies is a terrible, terrible disease.
So now they're going to be treating people like dogs, basically.
Well,
on
there you
international flights. That's a scary concept, Mark. I hope you're wrong, but I think you're probably right about the direction that's going to go.
And it's, to me, the best I can tell, COVID-19 is not impressive.
No.
On the scale of viruses. And
Not at
again,
all.
It's
not even particularly deadly compared to.
Well, that's what I mean. It's just not particularly impressive.
Right.
It's not worth the big change that we've seen.
Yeah.
And
so what we're seeing,
the people who want this don't travel internationally, I can assure you. They don't deal with this very much.
The people who want the regulations?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. So more here from Anton.
Everything I know about COVID-19 I have learned from YouTube videos of Dr. Erickson, Dr. Rashid Buttar, Dr. Shiva Yadurai, I guess. And Dr. Rashid Buttar showed on his videos that there are several patents on COVID viruses. Some of them were granted, I think, in November 19th, prior to the Wuhan outbreak.
Now, I've not heard this before. Have you guys heard about the patents on the virus?
I've heard about them.
No.
It seems usually leads into some kind of wild conspiracy theory after this.
Well, he said it came from some kind of doctor, apparently. I don't know what that means.
There are crazy doctors.
There are
out
indeed.
there too.
And
but
there's crazy
then
doctors.
again, they're also saying conspiracy theories. So there's no telling.
There's no telling. I wouldn't propose to know. I don't dig into this stuff. It's not my job. I comment on the news as the news is presented, and it is horrifying enough. I don't need to dig. I don't even need to scratch the surface of a news story in order to find terrifying things. They lay there in plain sight.
Indeed.
One of the patents belongs to a university based in England, which gets grants from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I can tell you more because I couldn't find this video on YouTube anymore. Maybe it was deleted.
Yep, we've seen that happening. YouTube taking down videos of anybody that's critical of the official government line on COVID-19.
And the thing is, that's the kind of thing that makes crazy theories plausible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, and this is the problem is when you try to shut people up, that they begin to believe the story even more. So, I mean, there's
something to this.
Right, there's something. Facebook, here's a headline right now. Facebook takes down Trump ads for violating our policy against organized hate. All right, so during a presidential election year, ads from the President of the United States of America has been taken down by a social media based in the United States.
Our toll-free number, if you want to comment, 855-450-FREE, like freedom.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,729, silver at $17.71, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,461. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, when it comes to fighting COVID-19, mass testing, effective contact tracing, and wearing face masks in public are all claimed to be effective at curbing the disease's spread. Technological solutions are still being developed across much of the world, and Germany has just rolled out its new Corona Warning app. Reuters reports the app, now available for Apple and Android devices, uses Bluetooth short-range radio to measure close contacts between people and issues a warning should one of them later test positive for COVID-19. But, as Statista's Neil McCarthy notes, even though experts have praised the app, the public is divided about using it for privacy reasons. Activist Post reports that in April, 47% of the German public said they would use such an app, but that fell to 42% by June. According to polling data, 46% currently say they would not use the app. That's an increase on the 42% saying they would not use it back in April. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines. 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Kenta Settles, a 28-year-old father of 3, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, PTSD, and ADHD, had committed no crime earlier this year when he was approached and subsequently assaulted and arrested by several officers with the Garfield Heights Police Department. Because prosecutors chose to never watch the body camera footage to find out what actually happened, Settles spent 5 months of his life locked in a cage on trumped-up charges. Settles, represented by Jeremy Torr, has since filed a lawsuit against the city of Garfield Heights and the Garfield Heights Police Department, alleging false arrest, violation of constitutional rights, and excessive force for the stop which took place on January 23rd. However, charges were dropped last week after prosecutors watched the video. The Free Thought Project reports Settles was finally freed after spending months away from his children, all because the cops who approached him that night had no idea how to actually investigate an alleged crime, and instead resorted to immediate escalation of force. Journalist and photographer Linda Tirado was standing near a police line in Minneapolis on May 29th, covering the George Floyd protests engulfing the city. All of a sudden, her face, in her own words, exploded. She had been shot from close range in the eye, permanently blinding her. Mid-Press News reports the police had shot her. Protesters pulled her away from her attackers, put her into a vehicle, and drove her to the hospital, where they were unable to save her eye, but were able to give her a $58,000 bill, likely the first of many. Now, in a wide-ranging interview with writer Luke O'Neill, she spoke out about the ordeal. In the interview, Tirado revealed that her first reaction to receiving the enormous bill, initially slated to be $2,900 per month, was to laugh. Tirado is a freelance journalist, supported by readers through Patreon. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Researchers were able to successfully teach a father how to communicate his emotions with rudimentary hand gestures. The stunning development happened after Stanford researchers spent 9 months trying to train 42-year-old Pittsburgh father Ron Myers to express simple sentiments like pride and love in a way few thought possible. To conduct the study, researchers used large, simplistic diagrams depicting hand gestures a dad might use to show emotion in a way Ron could easily comprehend.
We would often leave Band of Brothers or 30 for 30 reruns on to help him stay comfortable.
When Ron was able to successfully identify an emotion, he was given rewards to reinforce good behavior, including buffalo wings or a moment to read a page of a Tom Clancy novel. Despite Ron's breakthrough, researchers say he still has a way to go before achieving full emotional maturity, as after several months of work with Ron, he still retreats to the corner of the lab to look up drywalling techniques on the internet whenever his real family drops by to see him.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want here. We're launching into the second hour of the program. We spent the first hour on a piece of audio that came from a listener of ours in Belarus. And he was kind of laying out some of the differences, the key differences in life there over the last few months versus life in, well, basically the rest of the world. I mean, maybe with the exception of, wasn't it Sweden that had a semi-lockdown, but not quite total
Yeah, and they're getting
lockdown?
panned as, basically...
They're killing all innocent people.
All their citizens are dead.
Yeah.
Sweden's a wasteland.
Which is ridiculous.
No, it's obviously not true.
And similar in Belarus, where a lot of people are hating on the authoritarian there for using his authoritarianism to basically say, no, go ahead, stay open, it's all good, go to the hockey games, drink some vodka, have a party, we're cool here in Belarus, do what you want. If you want to wear a mask, that's your business. If you want to stay home, that's your business. And that should have been the way any free place handled this, but there aren't free places. And I'm not saying Belarus is a free place. It is, from what I understand, an authoritarian dictatorship.
Nothing like that, yeah.
Authoritarian dictatorship, but in this case, they made the right choice to protect their economy and protect the individual's right to make their choice for their own business and
Just
such.
quickly scanning through this map that Google has put in place with incidences of COVID-19. I don't think deaths. I think this is incidences of COVID-19. And their comparables per capita around Europe. Sweden is higher than some, but not extraordinary. France is whooping Sweden, as is Spain. Spain whooping France, and Turkey probably about the same as France. So, I mean, this
How
is per
does Sweden
capita.
compare to Belarus?
Slightly more.
slightly more infections in Sweden.
Yep. And I would say that the reason for some of this is that you probably could look at travel restrictions and those sorts of things and figure out and have a really good idea how a country reacted, and then look at the map and then, back those up. I don't think a lot of people are wanting to go to Belarus. That's my guess. I don't, I don't imagine they probably,
I kind of do after this story.
Well, Estonia is probably the place to go.
Well, anyway, it was interesting, and there was a few more words that Anton had to share, just kind of about his experience and listening to Free Talk Live as a Belarusian. We continue here with his wrap-up.
And I want to say thank you, Ian, you and all your friends and hosts of your show for what you do for freedom. I like the show. I love it. You guys changed my viewpoints on different topics, on different things. And thank you very much. I even learned my English from you guys by listening to your show.
That happens a lot.
He did well.
Yeah, I mean, he spoke very, very well. And he's not. Yeah, you're right about this, Mark. We've had people call from Asia as well who've said they've used our, satellite feed or something, or just our internet feed to.
Well, Free Talk
listen
Live. It was hard to get good free podcasts back in the day with good sound quality, and you are fastidious about sound quality, and
we say a lot of words over a week.
We do. There's a lot of content that people can listen to. And it pounds English home for them.
So that's always cool to hear.
Thank you very much. And by the way, Lukashenko has legalized Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in December 22nd of 2017. I can tell you more about it, but you can Google. Again, thank you very much, Ian, for all what you do. Bye.
Very cool. Very cool from Anton there in Belarus, where it's probably getting close to 4 or 5 in the morning. So that's why he couldn't call. But it was cool that he recorded that. It allowed us to kind of stop down and talk about it. So very interesting, and I'm glad that he enjoys the show. And it's really cool to know that we have an international audience. So when we ask a question like, "What's it like in Belarus?" we actually got an answer. And so it's really cool when radio can allow us to connect with people like that.
Yeah.
So I love that. So back to the world of crazy news. Did you guys hear about what's going on with the uproar apparently over Uncle Ben, Mrs. Butterworth, and Aunt Jemima?
Were they getting it on?
Mrs. Butterworth.
Mrs. Butterworth apparently as well. Yeah, CNN Business reporting that Uncle Ben's owner Mars is planning to change the rice maker's, quote, brand identity. One of several food companies planning to overhaul logos and packaging that have long been criticized for perpetuating harmful racial stereotypes. Now, I gotta say, I am seeing photographs here of Uncle Ben's special tomato and basil rice and Mexican-style rice, and what I see here is a picture of a man, happens to be a black man in this particular case, looking at a camera.
Well, the stereotype is true. I know a lot of black people who eat rice.
I know a lot of Asians who eat rice as well.
True.
And Ben could be an Asian name. Are they going to change it to an Asian guy now? Would that be completely acceptable if Uncle Ben became an Asian?
We have moved into a realm where you simply cannot have a human-looking character, right? I mean, like,
let's bring Toucan Sam in then and have him be the representative for Uncle Ben.
PETA is not going to like that. You're exploiting that poor bird.
It reminds me of the Adam Ruins Everything. That guy on the internet is basically like to his liberal friends, "Hey, let's go and do something this weekend," and then they go through a list of things and why they can't do them. Because it harms the environment or racial stereotypes or this thing or that thing or the other thing. Now, I have heard arguments on both sides of this Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben thing. Mrs. Butterworth is news to me, mind you. But, like in one case, you're talking about Aunt Jemima being like, was actually modeled after a real lady. And now then I've seen people on the other side say, well, this is the original Aunt Jemima, and this doesn't look like a real lady at all.
Which I saw a photo of what you're claiming, or what they're claiming was the original Aunt Jemima, and it did look pretty offensive in the way that it was
looked
drawn.
pretty darned offensive.
Yeah. But I don't know how many years it's been since that logo's been in place, but I suspect it's been decades.
Yeah, probably decades. Could be more than a century.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. There's parts of this that I don't understand. Like, let's say that people want to buy Uncle Ben's rice because they feel like a black man's going to make better rice than a white guy. So at which point this international company, whatever they might be, Mars, is this the same one that makes the M&Ms?
That's, I believe, the same Mars.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this food company is making money on the fact that somebody will buy their brand because it has a black guy over it over the other brand. What, Hamburger Helper? I don't even know what the competing brand is.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, look.
For rice,
if I'm going down the street,
Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. So they're up against the gays. There.
Right,
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I hear they whip up a mean casserole there in the Castro district.
If I'm going down the street and I got on the left, I got a black family cooking barbecue. And it's for sale, right? And on the right, I got some sort of church white family cooking barbecue. I'm going to make that left turn, and I'm going into the black family's parking lot, and I'm going to get out, and I'm going to expect that I'm going to, just by making that choice, I'm going to have a better barbecue. Is that racist?
It is racist, actually. I mean, by its very function, right? If you have made a decision based on someone's race, you have made a racist decision.
Or is it stereotyping?
Well, it's both of those things. It's stereotyping based on race.
Yeah.
And the question is...
But is it wrong?
I think that you would have to ask that black family. And I can tell you that some of them...
Well, they're not going to tell me it's wrong if I'm handing them $10.
No, they're not, right? I mean, see, this is the thing, right? So what if, this Mars company, the people who make Uncle Ben's rice are, as a percentage more black than the average person? Is this a problem then? I don't know, but these are all the questions that they're trying to avoid. And I get why they might try to avoid these things. If this is the moment in time when Mars can make a few extra bucks by ditching Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, then by God, that's what they're going to do. And that's what they should do. But I would warn the ladies and gentlemen in the audience is that perhaps you're being played. I don't care whether Uncle Ben or Aunt Jemima's portraits are on Uncle Ben's and Aunt Jemima's, particular products. I don't care because, for one, I'm never buying pancake syrup in the store.
Buy those products,
I live in New Hampshire. Screw y'all. I mean, our biggest export is tree sap.
Is that true?
And granite countertops, so rocks and tree sap.
More coming up here if you want to weigh in on Uncle Ben's, Aunt Jemima, and the future of marketing. It's Free Talk Live.
The monetary evolution comes to Las Vegas. Crypto Vegas is a one-day event featuring some of the brightest and most innovative minds in blockchain technology. Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergeyevna, Lynn Ulbrich, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEO Kingsley Edwards, and more. Tickets start at $20.20, and you can save 10% on VIP tickets using code FTL at CryptoVegasConference.com. July 18th, join Free Talk Live at CryptoVegasConference.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. Anarcho Vegas 2020 is a conference about changing the world through personal actualization and creation through markets. Get inspired to better yourself and better the world. Speakers include Jim Bell, Larkin Rose, Avins O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. Get your tickets for just $20.20 at anarchovegas.com and use code FTL to save 10% off VIP tickets. July 19th, join Free Talk Live for anarchovegas.com. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything you want right here. We've been talking about the apparently brand reimaginings, or whatever the corporate terminology they use for changing branding of Aunt Jemima, of Uncle Ben, apparently Mrs. Butterworth's as well. Mark, you just saw another article that Chiquita Banana is now under fire. I don't know if they've announced.
Cream of Wheat, which I don't even, I'm not even familiar with that having a caricature, but it may very well.
That these are under fire. I don't know if they have made a decision to change their branding yet. You found some sort of information.
They're doing reviews.
The toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE. So I guess now these...
there is a black guy on Cream of Wheat. I mean, apparently you just can't have a black guy.
I mean, it's just, it's insane what's going on here to me.
Is that fair to black models, though? I mean...
No, somebody will complain about that too, I'm sure.
Any model could become the face of some brand and make
now
a
you're
whole
a racial
lot of
stereotype.
money, but not if they're black.
When your whole view is centered around race, then I mean, like the world becomes this twisted place, right? Everything's negative or positive based on the amount of melanin or collagen or cocatin in your skin. It's crazy.
It's crazy. If you want to weigh in here,
is cocagen the chemical that makes you a cuck?
So, by the way, coming up in about a month from now, Free Talk Live will be heading to Vegas for Crypto Vegas and Anarcho Vegas. And these events started last year, was the very first one that, Mark, you and I went to. I don't think they'd had one prior to 2019. And this year they're going to be doing two events, Anarcho Vegas and Crypto Vegas. You can go to anarchovegas.com or cryptovegasconference.com and use code FTL. You'll save 10% on VIP tickets. If you just want the regular tickets, they're cheap. It's only $20.20 for each ticket. So it's a one-day conference for each conference, 2 days July 18th and 19th in Vegas. $20.20 per ticket. You'll see some great speakers at Crypto Vegas like Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergevina, Lynn Ulbricht, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEOs, Kingsley Edwards, and others. Plus at Anarcho Vegas 2020, Jim Bell will be there, Larkin Rose, Obbins O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. Go to anarchovegas.com and cryptovegasconference.com to get your tickets for one or preferably both of these wonderful events and go see some people in real life. Of course, we've also got Forkfest on the way starting next week, so there's a lot to do over this next month, and we hope that we will see you at one or both or all of those events. A little bit more here from CNN Business on the attack against Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, where apparently they've received these companies. Apparently Uncle Ben's owner is the Mars Corporation, and then Aunt Jemima owned by Quaker Oats. They're planning on changing their branding because some people
don't forget Mrs. Butterworth
are mad. Yeah, Mrs. Butterworth's is in
So I'm searching Mrs. Butterworth's here. And I went to the
logos or whatever?
Wikipedia page. I know what Mrs. Butterworth looks like. It's a plastic bottle. It used to be glass of a woman. And the complaint is that the woman is syrup bottles tend to be brown. Okay. And that some people have claimed that she looks like the Mammy character, which is a racial stereotype. However, there doesn't seem to be any evidence to support this as what. Like, I guess this. Could you make a white figure of a woman with a brown bottle?
No.
You can't?
No.
So the character must be black.
Or brown.
What if...
Or maple colored or whatever.
What if the character was voiced by a white voice actress? Would she be white?
Well, now it's going to upset people because you can't have a white woman.
She's not black. She never has been. No one ever imagined that Mrs. Butterworth was black.
Did anyone have any imagination of what Mrs. Butterworth's color was? Apparently some people.
Yes.
Some people think she's black.
People whose lens of the world is based entirely around race say she's black.
She's black.
But I never thought of Mrs. Butterworth as black because somehow I could imagine making a bottle that had to be brown in color with a white woman as the character. And
Why does it have to be a white woman?
Because Mary Kay Bergman was the main voice actress for the character. I mean, so to me, I never considered anything other than Mrs. Butterworth being a delivery system for high fructose corn syrup, for one. But
it's a plastic
her
bottle.
First name, according to a 2009 then parent company Pinnacle Foods held a first name contest, was Joy Butterworth. I mean, this is not a stereotypically black name.
No.
Now, I'm not going to say that there's never been a woman named Joy Butterworth who happened to be more than 50% African American. However, this seems like a stretch to me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean,
surnames are kind of a bad thing to go by anyway because slaves were called by the surnames of their supposed owners.
In many cases, they
inherited those.
Well, they could adopt them or choose not to adopt them. In many cases, a lot of slaves named Washington, for instance, Brown, and things like that. So in many cases, they got to pick their names.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the complications with this whole thing, I admit, but I guess, okay, so these companies can do whatever they want with their brands. If it feels like it benefits them at this time to do it, that's fine. Just consider, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a pointless bit of signaling for you.
That's what this is, yeah.
If you're going to, first off, don't use artificial corn syrup stuff on your pancakes, your waffles, or anything else.
If you love your children, give them
maple syrup from New Hampshire. Okay? So that's the first thing.
I'm for it.
All right. Uncle Ben's rice. I mean,
by the way, sorry to interrupt you here. I just looking for Mrs. Butterworth images. Scrolling down, there's a picture of a white woman next to Ms. Butterworth's bottle, and according to a story from MeTV.com, a woman named Hope Summers, apparently an actress on the Andy Griffith Show, was an earlier version of Mrs. Butterworth's voice. So another white lady, voicing. So not just one white lady, more than one. Not that it matters.
Wait,
to me.
is that good or bad? I I can't keep track.
Depends on who you ask.
I
right?
mean,
Because there's
are we upset that a white woman has been that has been hired to play a black woman, or are we upset?
I'm not any of those
upset
things.
because Mrs. Butterworth may not be black. Has anybody done a DNA test on Mrs. Butterworth?
This is the most time I've ever spent thinking about Mrs.
I know.
Butterworth.
Did you know, by the way, Aunt Jemima has its own syrup, too? What if you took Aunt Jemima's syrup and put it in a Mrs. Butterworth bottle? What would that do?
That's kinky. The lesbians are going to get upset.
Right? It's crazy talk. So they reworked Aunt Jemima years ago to make her,
less offensive.
a modern looking. I don't know whether you say less offensive, but fine.
The first photo was pretty offensive. The alleged first logo, if that's real, I don't know.
There are some photos that are pretty offensive looking by today's modern standards. There are other photos that I'm not even entirely sure are real.
Right. So that's why I say I don't know if that's really the original thing or whatever.
I mean, so for some reason, Quaker Oats doesn't seem to be a problem, but that's clearly the picture of a time gone by, right?
Quakers are still pretty
They're
staid,
not
right?
wearing plain dress. I'm a Quaker. I have yet to see somebody wearing authentic plain dress. There is this one kook that wears some stuff, but she just made it up.
All right, hold that thought. We can continue here. You want to jump in with your thoughts on Aunt Jemima, Ms. Butterworth controversy. It's Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want and take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Some people are apparently mad about the fact that there are black people on the bottles of and boxes of some allege Ms. Butterworth, but so far I think all we can find is evidence that Ms. Butterworth has always been just a plastic bottle that's been animated, filled with maple syrup. But Aunt Jemima, definitely there's a black woman on the label there, and Uncle Ben, definitely a black man on the label. Some people apparently are offended by this, and the companies in question are rebranding. I
saw a black comedian's bit some time ago.
About this?
Decades ago, about just sort of foods in general. He claimed to have a conspiracy theory uncle who was always seeing racism and everything. And he said, how come Frosted Flakes are great, but Cocoa Puffs are cuckoo? Wow. How come the Italian olives are in glass bottles, but the black olives are in cans? And it just kept going. And mind you, if this is your lens for viewing the world, you can continue to find this
all
stuff.
Kinds of things, yeah.
Right? But I, for one, had never considered that Cocoa Puffs were cuckoo because of the color of Cocoa Puffs.
Count Chocula, he's sucking people's blood, right?
Yeah, but I mean, so Frankenberry, who's the strawberry one? Frankenberry.
Yeah, he's
pink, right? What's so great about him?
Maybe he's gay.
I don't know. He seems like he might be.
I'm pretty sure he is. He's got a thing going.
But apparently you
Count
can't.
Chocula.
You can't have.
He's sucking more than blood.
Apparently you can't have a human being on your marketing anymore because it's going to offend somebody.
Unless it's a white guy.
Well, I don't know. It's going to offend people too.
Well, let's talk about Quaker Oats for a second here. And here's the one thing that you can't, so far they haven't trotted out. Now, as I understand it, Quaker Oats have never been owned by a Quaker. And
interesting.
Now, maybe that was true long ago. I went and did an image search here, and there appears to be a Quaker flour.
As in a brand of flour.
How can you tell if a flour is a Quaker?
And that they had friendly flour and things that looked like, wow, these really do look like Quaker-owned businesses. Mm-hmm. Mind you, Cadbury candy is definitely Quaker.
Still?
Well, they were.
Okay.
I'm only saying
back in the day. Originally, you're saying
Quakers
originally.
Made their mark because they were teetotalers, part of the temperance movement. They wanted people voluntarily to consume things like root beer and sarsaparilla. And
is that why you like root beer?
I like root beer because I can't drink caffeinated beverages,
gotcha.
And it's difficult.
Doctor says caffeine makes him edgy.
So, here they are putting my religion on their product.
Yep.
year after year, decade after decade. They're not attending meeting. They're not supporting the the New England quarterly meeting. They're not or the New England yearly meeting. They're not supporting the Religious Society of Friends in any way. Not FMU. None of these organizations. And FUN, excuse me. They're not Quakers.
Gotcha.
But they use the Quaker brand. They parlay in the Quaker brand. I think at this point one might make the argument that Quaker Oats actually helps to forward the Quaker brand as opposed to the other direction.
Certainly more than the Quakers do.
Right? People know what they are. People expect Quakers to dress like the guy on Quaker Oats, which of course, this guy isn't plain at all. He's got a big frill on his neck. So I don't know whether they ever had a real Quaker pose for these things. Maybe they did. I don't know.
But the Quakers could get mad because he's not, a real Quaker.
I don't know.
Like that. And I'm not sure what the people who are complaining want Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben's owners to do exactly. But they're going to do something.
Well, they're just going to get rid of them.
They've decided they're going to change their branding. But that's my question. Or what are they going to do in place of these characters? Because I would imagine that some people who might consider Aunt Jemima to be offensive would still want Aunt Jemima to stay black, right? So even though however many years ago, they changed the logo to be more of a normal,
what we would consider a non-offensive black lady, yeah.
Apparently it's still offending some people. So how far do they go? Do they take away any characters whatsoever? Because changing it to an Asian woman or a white woman or something is going to offend a bunch of people. So they can't do that. Are they just going to get rid of her and have just a big black block on there?
How about if they use an
Yeah,
Eskimo with a spear?
What's that? It sounds like a terrible idea.
Maybe that wouldn't work so well.
No, it sounds awful.
Although, you will blow up like a whale if you eat too much of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that what you would do is just rename it something else. Whatever the company is Mars's syrup.
Well, here's the useless corporate talk that Quaker Oats had put out there, according to CNN Business, regarding it retiring its 130-year-old Aunt Jemima brand and logo. Does that mean they're going to shut the entire brand down, that there will no longer be Aunt Jemima syrup? They're going to just end it? Or are they going to make changes? Quote, as we work to make progress toward racial equality through several initiatives, we must take a hard look at our portfolio of brands and ensure they reflect our values and meet our consumers' expectations. Say the Pepsi-owned Quaker Oats company.
What if consumers expect to see a black woman on their syrup?
Well, that's what I've been expecting. I mean, like I said, I don't buy these products generally, but Aunt Jemima is a familiar product. It's been around for my entire lifetime. It's apparently 130 years old, this brand. Now they're just going to flush it? After 130 years? There haven't been protests for 129 of those 130 years, I mean, what is going on?
People have been talking about Aunt Jemima for some time. It didn't have traction. And this is, to me, these companies trying to appear woke during these times that is going to be most beneficial for them.
Right. So they're so with it.
Of course, just to play the devil's advocate here, maybe if you're getting shot down like dogs in the street, it is some comfort if people signal that they support you, even if they signal it by doing something silly.
Right. And I tend to agree with that. I wish humans were logical beasts.
They're not, though.
And they're not.
No.
And it's frustrating.
ConAgra is behind Ms. Butterworth's, said they would conduct a complete brand and packaging review. ConAgra noted that it can, quote, see that our packaging may be interpreted in a way that is wholly inconsistent with our values. Well, again, Mrs. Butterworth's is just a bottle. I mean, she's never had any kind of race whatsoever. If you want, Mark, you did the research, you found out that it was a white woman who voiced Mrs. Butterworth's, but regardless, she's always it's not been a human being that is reduced down into a bottle or something like that. She's just always been a bottle.
So bottle has been expanded up into a human being.
She's animated and she, pours syrup onto pancakes. And then
I don't think she pours it. She is poured out of. She is purely passive.
Yeah, I don't even know how they do it. Like the animated Mrs. Butterworth, I don't know how she gets the syrup onto the pancakes. I would presume that she turns into a bottle. The animation turns into a bottle, and someone picks up the bottle, pours it onto the syrup.
Maybe.
But I got to say, as a kid, I was mesmerized by the notion that the bottle was shaped like a human being. I loved it.
Really?
I loved it.
She's always kind of looked kind of creepy. She's got big eyes, and she sort of sits on the shelf and watches everything with her hands behind her back.
Big eyes? What?
I think she's selling you out to the elf on the shelf.
Could be. The move. Well, go look at the bottle, Mark. It's just kind of like this.
I didn't see big eyes in the bottle.
Soulless-looking thing, but you can't put that much. You can't put a whole lot of detail in a plastic mold.
Of course, it may look soulless because the bottle doesn't have a soul. I don't know if you do or I do, but...
The moves are an acknowledgement of the brand's origins and racist stereotypes. This is what CNN is claiming, by the way, a consideration brought to the forefront during the nationwide reckoning on race following George Floyd's death in police custody. And
here's an actual older bottle of Mrs. Butterworth with it's a white lady.
Really? 855-450 free. That's 855-450-3733. You can share your thoughts on this brand readjustment or maybe even elimination. It's Free Talk Live.
Stop aging now. Restore those joints. Boost your strength. Because it's official. NutriMedical has released the most exciting, powerful anti-aging supplement on the market. Dr. Bill Deagle's Red Deer Velvet DR has been approved by the U.S. Patent Office. Imagine stem cell rejuvenation all in one capsule without huge expense. Dr. Bill MD discovered that as an unborn baby grows in the mother's womb, he or she does not deteriorate or physically age. Red Deer Velvet DR, like the uterus, provides 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones protected in one special DR capsule that delivers lipid packages directly into your circulation. This patented technology bypasses the stomach and is released into the small bowel unaltered by digestive enzymes and stomach acid. Remember, Red Deer Velvet DR. Improve endurance, stimulate your immune system, increase learning ability, and even improve sexual libido with Red Deer Velvet DR. Click NutriMedical.com, that's N-U-T-R-I medical.com, or call toll-free 888-212-8871 and get on the road to a newer, rejuvenated, happier you.
This is a pandemic survival alert, and the most time-sensitive messages you will hear this year. You still have time to plant a 1-acre crisis garden and secure a supply of your own nutrient-dense food. But time is running out, and it's one deadline you don't want to miss. Who should plant a crisis garden? Individuals, families, churches, communities, anyone or any group that sees hard times ahead. Let's face it, even the mainline media is talking about food supply disruptions and the growing number of grocery store workers who are becoming sick. But there's more. Meat packing plants are closing, mile-long lines at food pantries, and more farmers now in financial trouble. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables this summer may be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand what we're really up against. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Don't wait, every minute counts. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
In a competitive tech world, companies are always looking to the latest trend to keep their employees productive and happy at the office. But a new study suggests that employees are actually happiest when they're simply pretending to work from home. The study from tech and consulting giant IBM found employees felt overall more focused and content with their jobs when doing personal tasks like catching up on laundry or their favorite TV shows when they should be working.
I just make sure that I send some emails to my supervisor first thing in the morning so he thinks I'm up and working. But then I just go right back to bed.
I never have to deal with rush hour traffic or anything. I just walk across the room, sit down at my desk, and start browsing through my Twitter feed immediately.
The trend is making its way to the country's most influential tech companies like Google, where employees are encouraged to put in 12 empty hours of work a week from their homes. The study hasn't swayed every company, however. Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer said in a statement, "At Yahoo, we prefer that our employees pretend to work side by side right here in our offices."
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can dial in. You can bring up what you want. Our toll-free number, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
Nobody.
And Mark's here, just not paying attention.
Sorry, I just got an email and I was reading it. Excuse me.
You shouldn't be doing that during the show. Bad boy.
You're right.
Bitcoin.com. You can go there and learn about Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and cryptocurrency in general. Get the basics about Bitcoin. Now's a good time for it. There's no better time than now, especially if you've been waiting. You waited a decade. Now you should go to Bitcoin.com and learn about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And you can also, of course, purchase those things there in a variety of different ways. They've got their own exchange, which is mostly an international thing. Sorry, U.S. users. Also, if you're in the U.S., you can use their local.bitcoin.com site, which allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods. It's now been around, celebrating its first year anniversary this month. So congratulations to local.bitcoin.com. As we go back to your calls and thoughts, as apparently major brands with a lot of recognition are being reworked or possibly even eliminated. It's not clear from the statement from Quaker Oats about Aunt Jemima as to whether or not they're going to actually eliminate the brand entirely or somehow rebrand it in some way to make it less offensive to some people who apparently are offended by Aunt Jemima.
I find Aunt Jemima to be the most offensive of these characters out here. And it's simply because Jemima, if it was ever the name of anyone's aunt, it sounds like a very dated name.
It does.
And
it does.
No doubt Black Americans have made lots of strides since then. So, I mean, to me, that's the biggest one. But if there's a woman alive today that's like, hey, why do you think my name's offensive, screw you, right, then I apologize to her. And the rest of these people should too.
It's just a happy-looking black lady on the bottle, okay? It's not like she doesn't look like a slave or something like that.
Well, not now, no.
Now, you could argue that there was a version of the logo in the past that was pretty offensive. I saw something that was purported to be that. Whether it was or not, I don't know. But the one that was purported to be the original logo looked pretty offensive. You know, it was exaggerated in certain ways that would definitely be, I think, considered offensive. I don't find this particular current logo, nor the one of Uncle Ben, to be in any way, negative. But I guess some people do. And so now these companies are trying to show how sensitive they are to that. Let's go to your calls and your thoughts. First up, we've got Ro calling from Pennsylvania, watching on YouTube. Go ahead, Ro.
Hi.
Hi there. You're on the air.
Hi, I'm so glad you all discussing this. I heard this story this morning on America's First News, and like 5 in the morning, and I just came in, and I was so glad you were discussing it. I've listened to your show for a very long time, usually on GCN, and I just said, I think the other day, I said, let me check to see if you are on YouTube. But what I like is that what you are saying is it's so correct. It's probably like 90% correct. The thing is, the woman is not offensive. She's a black woman, and she's on the cover of a product. However, the offensive part is, as many times as white persons don't take the time to respect our histories, and our names and our legacies. And Jemima is the correct name. Jemima is not how it's pronounced, but as many times white persons do, they say our names wrong. Jemima is a Yoruba nation name. I have met a number of Jemimas, and they're always very beautiful. Usually very younger women.
Were they all African?
Oh, yes, the Yoruba. Yoruba is a nation that ended up being in the Nigerian country. Nigeria is a
So forgive my
combination
ignorance
of
here. I thought
nations.
that people generally got black people, people that were brought over as slaves, were generally got some new name that the white folks could pronounce.
That's so. But once again, the disrespect is white person's. The disrespect. We weren't brought here. We were kidnapped. And when you kidnap people, you're committing a crime. So you don't respect.
That's a crime.
Okay.
No argument there.
So, yeah, but you are 90% right. I felt the same way. I really wanted to call the corporate office this morning, but I was busy all day, and I think I will call there because it should be upgraded. It's been a black woman on that cover for 130 years.
Before you go on, Ro, let me see if I'm following you. You're saying that to you, the only thing you find offensive about the brand is that you believe that they're mispronouncing it, that it should be pronounced
They
Jemima
are mispronouncing it. They do this to us all the time. They do this to us all the time. They don't just mispronounce names. They lie about our history because they.
Okay, but that's not happening with.
You're a victim. That is happening here. The name is not Jemima. The name is actually Jemima. That's a real.
Okay. Is that
African
spelled the same
name
way?
in the Yoruba nation.
Is it spelled the same way?
No. Ejemina. Jemima. I have loads of cousins with Yoruba names. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying that you're. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I don't think that you can
I know
say.
you're not. I'm just letting you know
Look,
that I'm
Ro,
informed.
I don't think that you can. I don't think
I'm not
that
a bro. I'm not a bro.
I didn't say
I'm a woman. I'm not a
bro.
Ro.
It says here Ro is your name. Is that not your name?
Oh, okay. I thought you said bro. There's a lot of guys that call women bro, and I'm not good with that.
You sound female to me. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure though. Are you female?
I'm female. Yeah, I'm female.
You're female. Okay.
I call my female friends bro.
But we do have. I just want to make sure that our board operator.
But those who got mad at it left me, and they're not my friends anymore, so it's not a problem.
I just want to make sure your name is Ro, correct? I want to make sure our board operator got that correct. Okay, so Ro, look, I don't know if you should be offended if somebody mispronounces a name, right? Like it happens to me all the time. People will say instead of Ian, or Yan, or something like that, right? Like there's different ways that people will interpret a pronunciation, and I don't get offended by it.
People say no booty.
I've not heard that one yet.
It's not just within total concept here. Let's be real. They didn't just mispronounce the name. Like I said, let's get real here. A lot of people that were kidnapped were young and work able ready. Jemima was probably some beautiful young Yoruba princess. Okay, I've never met a Jemima that was not saying that the person doesn't get older. I'm just saying that there's a number of misrepresentations. It starts with the mispronunciation. And then an older woman. I don't have a problem with it being an older woman. All I'm trying to say is that her being on the cover, I agree with you all. I think you all said it should be rebranded. It should not be just cut and what do you call it, discontinued.
What would you like to see? I mean, do you have some sort of idea?
I want to see it upgraded. And I'm like, I feel strongly about it. I actually want to call the corporate office.
What does it look like?
So, would you be cool with it if it was like a hot black woman? If it was Beyonce?
No, you're making jokes, and I know they're okay.
We can't help it. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Let me tell you what just so I can give you a visual. Not saying they look just like this, but to give you a visual of what Jemima probably looks like. It will be the actress Nwango. I forgot her first name.
I gotta look her up.
I don't know.
She's very famous, an African actress. I just don't go to the movies.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Famous.
But what is it that you want to see? You want to see an upgrade? I mean, it's already.
Yeah, I want to see it upgraded. Yeah.
It's already just basically the current logo, as I understand it, is the words Aunt Jemima or Jemima with a woman. And just her face, essentially.
Oh, yeah, I want to see her proper name, number one. I want to see her proper name, and I have some other ideas of how they could correct their wrongs.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I believe...
so you think it should stay a black lady, it just should have the proper name according to...
Pronunciation, yeah.
The proper name or pronunciation.
Yeah, and the image should be adjusted. I have ideas of how it could be adjusted. Maybe it shouldn't be one black woman. But I'm saying I don't have a problem with an older black woman being on. All I'm trying to say is that...
Should it be more than one black lady?
It could be. Yeah, that's possible.
Well, if we're going to do a group, I think we should make it mixed race.
Thank you, Ro, for your call tonight. I do appreciate hearing from you, and I don't know how Quaker Oats is going to handle this. I don't know how you.
I don't know how they're going to handle it either. I think that her suggestions are as relevant as anyone's suggestions.
Sure.
By the way,
But everybody's
Lupita Nyong'o, I didn't understand what she said as far as the name went. It took me a second to search it. Is a beautiful black woman.
The actress? Is this an actress?
I would say that if I was looking at a food product, yes. If I was looking at a food product, I would want an older woman on the food product. I can tell
older lady's got more experience cooking.
Yeah, I just don't have a particular, it's generally if I'm looking for the food, as a guy who has to spend a certain amount of time by myself while my wife goes down to Florida, I'm hunting around all the time for where I can get home cooked meals during the wintertime. And I'm not hunting at young ladies' houses.
Nope.
I'm hunting at older ladies' houses. So
I thought you were just going with the percentages there. I mean, you're more likely to get some food out of an older lady at our age.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
And the food's more likely to be better if it's an older lady.
Indeed.
Just because of experience and time put in.
I don't know.
Ageist.
And she
Yes,
didn't,
it is.
and the caller didn't have anything. Didn't have anything negative to say about an older black lady on the.
Right, but
the
she wanted it
spokesperson.
to be upgraded, and I'm still not quite clear what that
I think
would
the
mean.
upgrade is a proper pronunciation. I don't think that's the most ridiculous claim in the world.
855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want. Take control of the airwaves. Hour 3 is next. It's Free Talk Live.
We call him Willy Wonka. He's a chocolate lab. His belly itched, and he would actually lay in the grass and scoot across it to scratch. And Sheba, his sister, she scratched at her ears real bad, and she shook her head so much, she wound up with cauliflower ears.
DINOVITE.com. Dinovite is nutrition.
When we first got the Dinovite, they cleaned the bowls up real good. Her ears, they're a whole lot better. Wonka, his belly, it's all really cleaned up. He flops over and lays on his back and just kicks his legs, and I call it his happy dance. They look good and even smell good in between baths. You should give your dogs Dinovite before something happens. And that's kind of like preventative maintenance.
Dinovite for life.
It makes them healthier and happier.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
And your dogs will love it just like mine do.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,726, silver at $17.54, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,400. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, last week in Missouri, a 25-year-old woman named Hannah Pfizer was shot and killed by an officer with the Pettis County Sheriff's Office during a routine traffic stop. Pfizer was reportedly pulled over because she was speeding and passed through a red light. The officer, who has not been named, claimed that she threatened to shoot him, but no gun was found in the vehicle. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is now working the case. claiming to be an impartial outside agency. In an initial statement from the Highway Patrol, they referred to Pfizer as a suspect instead of a victim, and accused her of threatening to shoot the deputy. However, she did not actually have a gun on her, and there is no footage from a dash cam or body cam that would corroborate the officer's story. Family and friends say she was on her way to work, and that she was a friendly person who never carried weapons. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. In a seeming reversal on Facebook's position that it would not remove political speech, the social media giant removed 88 ads on Thursday, posted by the accounts of President Donald Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, and the Trump campaign, on the grounds that they violated company policies against organized hate. The identical ads went after leftists and so-called Antifa, or anti-fascist groups, that prominently featured an inverted red triangle outlined in black, a symbol that Nazi German authorities used during World War II to identify political dissenters who were incarcerated in concentration camps. Other versions of the ad that are visible in Facebook's ad library use identical language and alternative clip art, such as exclamation points and stop signs. In a statement, Trump campaign spokesperson Tim Murtaugh defended the use of the Nazi symbol by claiming that it's an emoji that's widely used by activists opposed to fascism. The Vallejo Police Department was warned by rushing to purchase a cell site simulator without first crafting a use policy. The agency sidestepped its legal duty to transparency. Now, Oakland Privacy has filed a first-of-its-kind suit to ensure the public has a say in how such controversial surveillance technology is deployed in their communities. Activist Post reports that cell site simulators are devices that police use to gather information from cell phones, typically to locate, identify, and track people. Also known as IMSI catchers, the devices pretend to be cell phone towers in order to trick phones into connecting to them. The technology is so controversial that in 2015, the California legislature stepped in and passed Senate Bill 741, a law that ensures a police department cannot acquire cell site simulator usage without a city council first approving a detailed policy. In mid-March, amid COVID-19 shelter-in-place orders, the Vallejo City Council approved a $766,000 purchase of a cell site simulator manufactured by KeyW. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
For those hoping to get ahead of the work week, look no further than Overtime Plus, a new app that lets you work for your company even while you sleep. The app keeps you trapped in a constant half-awake, half-dream state where your thoughts are never far from the drudgeries of the work week. By simply laying your phone on your mattress, the app's accelerometers are able to measure your movements throughout the night, so it knows when you're close to falling into a deep sleep and losing focus of the crushing work demands ahead of you. When restful sleep is detected, the app dips into your personalized work tasks to generate a subliminal signal, like the date of an important deadline, or keywords from the most damning portion of your last job review, to jostle you back into a state of productive, semi-awake agitation.
I was close to falling asleep last night, then my app started whispering my boss's name over and over again, until I was awake and answering work emails at 3 in the morning.
Last night it made me dream that I was locked in the office until I could find the most optimal way to catalog the company's new server. I still haven't figured it out.
The app doesn't just keep you mentally shackled to your day job, but also serves as an alarm clock by repeatedly shouting you're late for work until you're jolted out of bed in a panic each morning.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, so feel free to jump into one of those. We got somebody waiting there patiently, so we will get to your calls and thoughts about whatever is on your mind. We have been talking about what's going to happen to these brands that apparently some people think are offensive. Uncle Ben's, Aunt Jemima, or as a lady called last hour, calling it Aunt Jemima, saying that it's the pronunciation that offends
Hold
her.
on, let me get that name. Oh, shoot, I closed that
E,
page.
it was like E. Jemima or something.
Right, something like that.
But this is Aunt, so maybe it's a different pronunciation because it could be pronounced differently if
No,
Southerners...
I think she's probably right, is that somehow this name got
Right, but you can't ask
anglicized.
Southerners to, pronounce a thing correct, right? They're going to screw it up. They're going to...
Okay, that's regionist.
Yeah. I'm from the South, so, I know what it's like down there.
I thought you were from Florida. The
True.
South is
I'm
north
not from
of
the
there.
real South, yeah.
She said that the most offensive thing about it was the mispronunciation.
Mhm.
She didn't
To
say
her.
that it was offensive.
Yeah.
She said that the most offensive thing about it was the mispronunciation. So she seemed like she had some level of understanding.
Or it could have been a troll call. I don't know.
I doubt it.
That
I
doesn't
don't
sound
know.
accurate
I'm
at all.
trying to find something on the internet about people being upset about the pronunciation. I haven't found it yet, though.
I think she has her own theory.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's this one person who's upset about this and no one else is, or maybe
She's not upset. She was saying largely that she didn't seem to think it was that big of a deal. But if she could give some advice to who is it, the Quaker Oats company that has Aunt Jemima, that hey, you probably could do a little better with a better name here. I don't know.
We're going to go back to your calls and thoughts. Apparently, they may be
the Quaker Oats company should probably just stop using caricatures to sell their products. I mean, they're using Quakers to suggest that their products are wholesome, pure, and honest. But the Quaker Oats company isn't owned by Quakers.
Spokeswoman Christian...
It seems dishonest and impure to me.
Here's a name I'm going to mispronounce. Kroepfl. Kristen Krofel. You want to try that one?
I'm not good at this stuff.
Kroepfl.
I got nothing.
Krofel at Quaker Oats said to the Voice of America for their report about the controversy that, quote, "We recognize Aunt Jemima's origins are based on a racial stereotype. While work has been done over the years to update the brand in a manner intended to be appropriate and respectful, we realize those changes are not enough," they say. And now they are retiring the Aunt Jemima name from its pancake mixes and syrup, along with the image of a smiling African-American woman. So it sounds like they are just going to completely cleanse the entire brand.
Right. The part that bugs me is they're in this catch-22.
Right. Now they're getting rid of the black lady.
Right. On one hand, they are suggesting that their food tastes better because it's made by a black lady, which, okay, I can get on board with to some extent. However, now it's insulting to take the black lady off. Right? Like,
yeah. What do they do right here? How can they do this right?
I don't know how they can do it right. This is the difficulty with, the situation that they're in. I don't think that they would lose a lot of. They probably should pull the Quaker off, the Aunt Jemima off, and every other food brand they have that has some kind of human-looking.
Take all humans off of brands? Well, that seems like it may actually disconnect people from their awareness and familiarity with the product in a lot of ways.
What I'm saying is you asked me how I thought they could get out of the situation most easily, or that's how I interpreted your question.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just go ahead and say, this is a minefield, and we don't know how to navigate it, so we're going to remove all the people that look like people from our packaging, because removing the black
I wouldn't
lady's...
want to buy bathwater if it didn't have a picture of a baby on it.
Removing this black lady's face from this product is offensive.
It could be offensive to some people.
It's offensive. It's offensive to me. I mean, what you're saying is that somehow it's racist to have a black lady's face on the bottle, and I don't, or packaging, and I don't
that
think
because
that's
it was more stereotypical or maybe even offensive in the past.
I mean, the name Aunt Jemima is somewhat stereotypical in that it kind of, that was the customary. That's how they addressed, for example, wet nurses and
something like that.
That kind of thing. And I seem to remember from that her clothing indicated that she was
of a lower station
from the time of slavery.
Right.
She had the.
Well, they do address this at the very end of the CNN business piece. According to Uncle Ben's website, the name was first used in 1946 in reference to a black farmer known as Uncle Ben, who excelled in rice growing. The man depicted in the logo is a, quote, beloved Chicago chef and waiter named Frank Brown, unquote. However, the imagery evokes a servant and uses a title that reflects how white Southerners once used the terms uncle and aunt as honorifics for older blacks because they refused to say Mr. and Mrs. according to a 2007 New York Times article.
Note the terminology is honorific, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you truly believed that somebody was beneath you in station, you wouldn't use an honorific to describe them. And in many cases, what they're saying here is that the kids needed to acknowledge that these people were leaders in the household.
Mm-hmm.
I find that's revisionist in some ways. I mean, I don't. Certainly, slavery sucked. Certainly, the position of blacks in the South and, frankly, the North, and a lot of things. In a lot of cases, it was a lot of hard work, and people tend not to look at domestics as the highest station. But hey, is it somehow ignominious work to be a maid, to be a cook? I mean, is that what we're saying now? All the cooks in America, you suck? Because I'm not willing to say that.
I'm super grateful for people that cook and clean. I mean, my God, I'm so grateful.
I'm not going to do it.
Apparently, these people were grateful enough to call them a name that indicated they were family.
So we go to your calls and thoughts. Matthew's in Louisiana, listening to WGSO. Go ahead, Matthew.
Okay, the woman on the Aunt Jemima package is actually named Nancy Gray, and she was a civil rights activist. And the money that Quaker Oats made went to support her causes.
Wow.
Well, not all the money, obviously. They had to make a profit. But
says here
they gave her a cut.
It says here in the Voice of America story, her name was Nancy Green. She was once enslaved.
Okay, Green.
She was at one time. Not. This was the original woman, apparently.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right.
She was, according to the story, at least at Voice of America, she was once enslaved. She was hired to pose for the original photo, so not the one that's currently on the package, but the original one, and portray Aunt Jemima.
If the original photo is the original photo that I saw, that's just some old timey. What I can't remember what the terminology they use to describe, the art that
an exaggerated art form. I think they're talking about an actual actress who was photographed. So maybe I don't know which original photos we're talking about here, but at one time they hired this woman. She was also hired to portray Aunt Jemima at fairs and other events, dressing her in a white apron and kerchief to cook pancakes for visitors. So they really did have a woman sort of become this character as part of this.
Yeah, and she did in fact get some money. She was paid basically a little bit of money from the sale of the product, and she used it to advance the cause of equal rights for black people.
Interesting.
A very long time ago. But Mark, you are correcting one thing. High fructose corn syrup is much worse than I thought it was. It turns out it induces a lot of oxidative stress on the blood veins. They ought to have a warning label on that, similar to what they put on tobacco.
Thank you, Matthew, for your call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Thanks for the history there on the product, or at least some of it. You're welcome to share your thoughts as well. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Do you find these characters offensive? It's Free Talk Live.
The monetary evolution comes to Las Vegas. Crypto Vegas is a one-day event featuring some of the brightest and most innovative minds in blockchain technology. Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergeyevna, Lynn Ulbricht, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEO Kingsley Edwards, and more. Tickets start at $20.20, and you can save 10% on VIP tickets using code FTL at CryptoVegasConference.com. July 18th, join Free Talk Live at CryptoVegasConference.com.
We call him Willy Wonka. He's a chocolate lab. His belly itched, and he would actually lay in the grass and scoot across it to scratch.
DINOVITE.com. Dinovite is nutrition.
His belly, it's all really cleaned up. He flops over and lays on his back and just kicks his legs. I call it his happy dance.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
Don't worry about things you can't control. Isn't that what they always say? But it's about impossible to avoid worrying about what's going on these days. The government has used the war on guns, the war on drugs, and the war on terrorism to tear our Bill of Rights to shreds. But you can fight back. The 10th Amendment Center has proven it, racking up major victories. For example, when the U.S. government claimed authority in the NDAA to have the military kidnap and detain Americans without trial, the nullifiers got a law passed in California, declaring the state's refusal to ever participate in any such thing. Their latest project is offnow.org, nullifying the National Security Agency. They've already gotten model legislation introduced in California, Arizona, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas, meant to limit the power of the NSA to spy on Americans in those states. We'd be fools to wait around for the U.S. Congress or courts to roll back Big Brother. Our best chance is nullification and interposition on the state level. Go to offnow.org, print out that model legislation, and get to work nullifying the NSA. The hero Edward Snowden has risked everything to give us this chance. Let's take it. Offnow.org.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Will Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and Mrs. Butterworth even survive as brands, or will they be completely trashed and replaced with some sort of generic Quaker? Apparently Quaker Oats owns Aunt Jemima.
You think they need to change their names too?
Quaker syrup.
Why Quaker anything?
Put the boring Quaker guy on there. That won't offend anyone.
Except the Quakers. I've now decided to be offended on behalf of the Quakers. Up to this point,
he's not plain enough, right, to be a real Quaker.
He certainly doesn't represent a Quaker today.
As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I took a look at my wife and realized she's very plain.
That's an Amish, you bigot. But this is the thing. Is right. Like this is a minefield, and if people want to be offended, they can be offended. You had just mentioned before we got on the air that Land O'Lakes has gotten rid of its Native American girl, his Indian girl that's on the packaging.
Apparently, that happened earlier this year, according to Voice of America.
It did, and as I understand it, that was painted by a Native American guy. I mean, and the Aunt Jemima was portrayed by a black woman. And at some point or another, you've done the opposite of what you wish to achieve, which is to make being different bad. Like, you know, if somebody said it was is Mexican food an insult to food? I don't think so.
I love it.
I think it's a distinction, and that's all.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I'd say British food is an insult to food. That's my position. I'm sticking with it.
Some of the stuff they serve up here in New England, the boiled dinner, good Lord.
Sounds awful.
You can get it over at Timoleon's. So, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's not triggering. To me, it's not a problem with all of this stuff. But if everybody's going to be upset, why am I not upset about the Quakers?
Well, that's the thing. Everybody isn't going to be upset. Some people are upset. Some people are making themselves heard. And I think you're right, Mark. No matter what they end up doing here, it's going to upset other people. So some people are mad because they have Aunt Jemima on the product, or this black lady representing Aunt Jemima that has been changed over the years to be less offensive and more normal looking for the times. But that's not good enough for some people, and that's literally what the corporation has said. They haven't gone far enough, so they're just going to go ahead, it sounds like, and sanitize the brand completely of any sort of human character. Because if they bring in the Quaker guy,
that makes the most sense.
Because if they bring in the Quaker,
what the hell do they know about?
Now it's a white guy. Now you can't be having a black lady replaced by a white guy, so we'll have to just replace the black lady by what? A cartoon character or nothing at all? Just some logo.
Cartoons have colors too.
Some corporate logo.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know what it's going to look like. I guess we'll find out. If you want to weigh in, you can join the conversation here. Our number is 855-450 free.
You know,
I think we should go with the alien from Bugs Bunny. I thought he was great.
Yes.
The guy with the little zapper gun?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Being disintegrated makes me very angry.
Makes me so angry.
All right, let's go back to your calls here. Mike is in Gold Bar, Washington, watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, the YouTube's coming in great today.
Thank you.
So when I was at Fort Lewis, I had a buddy named Big Will, and he was a really big black guy. He was a private.
Okay.
I think I was actually a supervisor. So we would have to go buy acid and weed from his wife because he couldn't sell acid or weed because he was in the Army. And when we got there, his wife was kind of Big Mama. She had a tray full of wings sitting in front of the oven. Come over here, baby. Come and have some wings with Mama. So I have a lot of black relations over the years. I got, and I look at the Aunt Jemima lady on the label or the bottle, whichever one it is, kind of like in the movie The Patriot, where the black women helped raise all those little brats and they love her like their aunt or their,
I don't remember
whatever,
The Patriot,
their nanny.
The
one with Mel Gibson,
the mammy character in Patriot.
So everybody loved them. So for my new label idea, it would be simply take the guy with no smile on his face off the Quaker Oats, have Aunt Jemima pouring some of her delicious syrup in those oats so he'll smile, and then he should be kissing her ass for taking care of us like she does.
There you go.
Because I just think people are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Are you telling me the Quaker guy doesn't smile?
He has a smirk.
No, he doesn't smile. Have you ever eaten plain Quaker Oats? You wouldn't be. Oh,
nobody smiles
at that. You got to put Aunt Jemima syrup on them.
That's a great point.
So I think they should incorporate her going like, here, have some syrup, and then he'll smile.
He's smiling.
Happy.
He's smiling in these images.
And it's not much of a smile.
All right, fair enough.
He
There's no
would be
teeth.
Smiling a lot if he had syrup on his.
They used the toothless Quaker? That is such a stereotype.
You guys have a good night.
Thanks for the call, Mike. I appreciate it. Let's go to, what we got here? V? I don't know if, Will in Tennessee? What's your name, sir?
Hey, Bill, B-I-L-L.
Bill, they really screwed that one up. They started your name with a V. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Bill.
That's okay. I can put an end to the whole controversy. Aunt Jemima. I go to Walmart. I buy the Great Value syrup. It's not, it's just got a blue label on there. It says Great Value. It's about half the price of and it's probably syrup that's made by the Pepsi, who owns Aunt Jemima Pepsi.
I think they said PepsiCo owns, Quaker.
In a lot of cases, the store brands are in fact made by the same companies that make the name brands.
That's
and
true.
Then you pay more for the name brand
for the advertising
in the hopes of getting the consistency or quality that you're used to having.
You're paying for the advertising.
Okay.
In a lot of cases.
I think that there's times when I had the store brand and the store brand isn't as good as.
There are those times.
And there's other times when I can't tell the difference.
Right. But, they were saying the name is mispronounced. They were going on and on with all these different scenarios. I mean, you Google one thing and you find.
Oh, it's a rabbit hole, no doubt.
I mean, you find it goes in all directions. The slave, she was an entrepreneur. She was great with women's rights. I was thinking just a minute ago, what's next? Is the Pillsbury Doughboy, is that offensive to people that are overweight?
That little white bastard.
He's offensive to people of colorlessness.
little fat white guy.
And then you got the Michelin Man. Is that offensive to other brands of tires? I don't know.
I've never understood what the hell he is.
Is he a mummy?
I don't know.
The funniest thing I heard today, it was on the sports news, and this, I don't know if it was at the SEC, but anyway, University of Florida, they have decided to ban the cheer that mentions gator bait.
Right. It's Florida State is gator bait, and
Florida State is gator bait, meaning that they will kill the gators. Because that's the rivalry, right? There's Florida State, the Seminoles versus the...
I love how in touch you are. No.
Is there not a rivalry between those two schools, Florida State
they're just like Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, and Alabama and Auburn is probably the most heated.
So wait, what am I getting wrong here, Mark? I don't know anything about these sports, so what am I getting wrong here?
So the gator bait means that the Gators are going to beat the Seminoles in that particular instance. And people were fed to the Gators in the past, and this is what people are calling this horrific historical problem.
Hey, Bill, thank you for the call tonight. I definitely appreciate hearing from you. Your calls and thoughts are welcome. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free here. Bring up what you want. Our number for you, 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. You can jump into one of those, and you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us tonight. That includes me, Ian.
Nobody.
And Mark.
Plus, we got all kinds of stuff to discuss, but we're going to your calls and thoughts first. But if we do get the chance, what happened with one gym that refused to close due to the corona crackdown by governments? We'll tell you what one city did to punish them. But first, we go to your calls and thoughts. Jason is in Colorado, listening on LRN.FM. Go ahead, Jason.
Good evening. I want to talk about Harlan David Sanders, otherwise known as
Colonel
Sanders. How has he not been attacked yet by these people?
The Southerners don't have that much of a lobby.
Was the suggestion that Colonel Sanders was a slave owner or something? What's the attack vector?
I don't know. He kind of looks the part of a wealthy plantation gentleman.
He does kind of look like he could be that guy.
He was a Kentucky general, which is a title, which is a strange title. Colonel. I'm sorry, Kentucky colonel. Yeah, there's some strange title thing there, but. I mean, he was a real person, so I don't think that there's too much they can say. But then again, maybe they will.
Well, the title thing was people who were called colonel in the South generally owned or sponsored militia units, and that's how they earned that honorific. So they had to be pretty wealthy.
Jason?
I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. To answer your question, nobody. It was Marvin the Martian.
That was my question.
Marvin, yeah, I loved Marvin.
And I watched a little clip on YouTube before coming on the air, and his weapon was the Illudium Q-36 space modulator.
Space modulator.
A friend of mine, when I was a teenager, a friend of mine had a band named after that explosive.
Nice. Those guys who did that stuff were absolute geniuses. I mean, just Looney Tunes, the whole thing, start to finish.
Yeah, he said he spent 2,000 years working on it to perfect it.
Wow, cool. Thanks for sharing that, Jason. Anything else tonight?
Nope, thank you.
I appreciate it. Colonel Sanders, by the way, lived for 90 years, was born in 1890,
Pretty
according
impressive.
to Wikipedia there. We continue with Jamie in New York, watching us on Twitch at twitch.lrn.fm. Hello, Jamie.
Hi.
Hey.
So I see you guys haven't changed a bit. Glad to hear. I've been involved in a bit of a conflict with the town and my neighbor across the street. These new guys just moved in.
Okay.
I've been trying to build a workshop. I'm like 80% of the way done, and the town revoked my building permit.
Lovely.
After basically complying with all of their requests.
So did they give you a building permit and then revoked the building permit, or how'd this work?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I had an approved building permit. I changed a few things along the way, maybe like 3 things.
Uh-huh.
I drew the plans up myself. They wanted me to revise the plans. I revised them. I had the architect stamp off on them. I turned it back in, and then they revoked it.
Wow. What do you believe the reason is that they're doing this to you? Does somebody have a connection at the town, one of your neighbors, that doesn't like you, or what do you speculate here?
I have no idea. They won't even talk to me at this point. So.
And you said this was it a shed?
Workshop.
That's a garage. It's like 20 by 40, so it's sizable.
So it's connected to your home? It's connected?
Nope.
No.
Separate.
So separate garage.
How much land do you have?
About 2 acres.
Plenty of land. Okay. And so they charged you for this, I presume, right? You paid them for the permit?
Not yet. So this is the thing. They revoked it mid-corona season, so I can't go to court. Court's been pushed off here in upstate New York till September, which is absurd.
Wow.
But,
Hold on. So they issued you the permit, but you didn't pay for the permit that they issued?
Usually there's some kind of...
Oh, no, I paid for it.
That's what I was saying. You paid for the permit, and then they revoked it. Did they give you your money back for the permit?
Of course not.
I would think that they're going to run to, well, he changed things on the
Yes,
the permit.
but that's why I had the plans revised and the architect stamped off on them. But anyways, this
Well, the
escalates a
architect
little
doesn't
bit,
give
so-
out building permits. The town does.
Well, what are you supposed to do now? You said you're 80% done with this thing. Tear it down?
That's what they want me to do, yeah.
Wow.
Which is absurd. But it turns out the neighbor across the street has been filing complaints like on a regular basis
Against
about
you?
just about everything I do. Yep. And he's actually got a camera pointed right in my house. I found all this out through FOIL requests. Well,
really?
I escalated things a little bit by erecting a 7-foot statue in my front lawn.
Statue
just
of
as
what?
A giant dong. I believe I can say that word on the radio.
Thanks for saying that instead of the other things you could have said. Are
I
you
looked
really
up.
serious? Is this in the news? Can we
Absolutely
find this
serious.
story? Is this out there?
You can actually find out the whole story. I put it all up online to try to get some attention at wiltonwoody.com.
Is Wilton the name of the town?
It is, yep.
And have you
well,
gotten news
turns
coverage
out-
about this?
Not yet. This morning, 2 state troopers showed up at my house and arrested me for
Really?
this statue. Yep.
What was the
Brought me down
charge?
to
Is there a
the station
law
and-
against dong statues?
It is, I believe, the same law they use to have the adult section in the movie rental stores or the bags over the magazines. It's that law they're using. It's
How many people in the town?
11. How many people?
Did you
It's
say
a pretty
11?
sizable small town. I'm not sure, actually. Probably like 12,000.
Okay. I'm just, like these petty tyrants get more tyrannical as the town gets larger.
16,992, according to 2018.
that's close.
Wilton, New York population. So, what is the exact charge? Do you happen to have that handy?
Yeah, the exact charge is penal law.
Penal
Penal
law.
law.
245.11.
245.11. All right. And they came to your house. So this is public display of offensive sexual material. It is a crime in New York to display sexually explicit material in a store window, rack, showcase, wall, door, or in any other place where it is visible to the public. So apparently a wood sculpture artwork.
Yeah, it was a chainsaw carved.
Is, and you know, it's artwork, okay, whether you like the artwork or not. This isn't some sort of commercial Playboy magazine with real nudity. This is just an interpretation, an artist's interpretation of what appears to be an erection in someone's front lawn. And is this
straight as an arrow and pointing to the sky?
Have you seen the pictures?
Oh yes, I'm looking at you. Straddling this bit of art.
That's not me.
Okay.
That's somebody that drove by. I was getting a lot of attention. It was actually interesting. I thought the neighborhood would hate it, but turns out most people liked it. They thought it was hilarious.
And how long ago did you construct this thing?
About 9 days ago.
Okay, all right. So this is going to hit the news at some point, and this probably has some pretty viral potential on it. I hope that you're able to find an attorney who's willing to help you with this particular case. Do you know if this is a misdemeanor charge that they hit you with?
It is a misdemeanor.
Okay, so you're facing up to a year in jail, I presume.
Fines.
Fines for simply having a sculpture that somebody didn't like.
I really hope you can keep us up to date on this, because I would like to. I just want to know how this goes.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for giving us a heads
I'll
up.
keep
on
you guys
this.
posted.
Thanks, Jamie, and good luck staying out of jail on this one. I hope that this is a free speech case. Clearly, you should win this.
It looks like you can donate.
I think so.
It looks like you can donate Bitcoin here at the bottom.
But then again, it is New York. And thank you, Jamie, for the call. Definitely keep us in the loop. He's calling us from Twitch, which is cool. Great Twitch call. Unusually clean for a Twitch caller, and I especially considering the subject matter.
Yeah, the subject matter could have gone sideways real quick.
I definitely appreciate it. Our chat room's having a ball with this one over at Discord, so-called.
The memes will begin.
Discord.lrn.fm. Hop on in there and do that. Oh, and I'm reading the description here. Apparently, Officer Diddle is the name of this person.
Wow.
Jamie's giant dong has been diddled.
Wow. All right, we got more on the way here. You can't make this stuff up, man. This is Free Talk Live.
Frustrated trying to get business capital? Want to take the slow process and rejection out of the equation? GCNloans.com removes the slow, irritating approval process. Instead, get quick, simple funding. Powered by David Allen Capital, 80% of our pre-qualified clients are approved in days. Pre-qualify at GCNloans.com and get your money this week. It's that easy. GCNloans.com. That's GCNloans.com.
Attention gardeners, if you need to grow nutritionally dense vegetables or medicinal herbs this year, listen, because a bioactive superfood for plants is now available. This all-natural superfood for plants is so effective at producing maximum plant growth in minimum time that it almost forces plants to grow, even under the worst light and soil conditions. It's called Proto-Grow, and it's truly remarkable. Vegetables grow faster and contain more bioavailable vitamins and trace minerals. Plants that rarely bloom will flower constantly. Sickly plants become vibrantly alive. Medicinal herbs become super potent. Flowers become more vivid right before your very eyes. Proto-Grow also improves the taste quality of all your garden vegetables. That's because it's more than just an all-natural superfood for plants. It's a proprietary blend of bioactive sea nutrients that contain the basic building blocks of life itself, which is why Proto-Grow even renews your garden by increasing the microorganisms in the soil. Learn more at growlikecrazy.com. That's growlikecrazy.com. Get special pricing for network listeners right now at growlikecrazy.com.
Do you feel like many of us? All the distractions in the world taking our minds and focus off what really needs to get done day to day? Well, Jeunesse has a dietary supplement called Mind to help with mental distraction, and it supports memory function. Go to GCNlife.com now to check it out. You're only at your best when your mind is at its best. Go to GCNlife.com or call toll-free 844-443-6637. That's GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637.
If you're David, a few well-chosen words can help level the playing field with Goliath. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. Recently, I saw a Yellow Pages ad for an appliance repair company, and the headline read, "Why wait for Sears?" If you're going to the Yellow Pages, the Dead Sea Scrolls of advertising, you're ready to buy right now. So this is an attention-grabbing message. And how about the plumber whose radio ad says, "Call by noon Thursday, and we'll be there Saturday at no extra cost"? Smart guy. Most plumbing firms give their crew the weekend off. This one gives them Sunday and Monday off. In the words of a respected advertising executive, cut to the chase, make it quick, and tell me exactly what you can do for me, especially if you're looking for work. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here. Toll-free number, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up anything you want. That's the point here on the show. With you tonight, by the way, it's Ian.
The nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And Mark.
And definitely want you to know about ForkFest, which is right around the corner. I mean, we're less than half a week, I think, at this point from the beginning of ForkFest. Now, some people say ForkFest starts on Monday, the extended version of it. Others say it starts on the 29th. You decide when it starts for you because no one's in charge. So it's all up to you whether you're attending or not. Although I've seen some names popping up as potential attendees or intending attendees that I haven't seen for years, which I'm excited about. So some of the old faces that we remember from years ago are going to start showing up again, which is pretty cool. So it could be a big year. Of course, we have no idea what to expect. We have no idea because we don't sell tickets. We're not in charge. There's no one who's in charge of ForkFest. It's a decentralized libertarian camping festival.
Every year is a surprise.
Forkfest.party. You can go there. It's an unofficial website. You can learn more about the event. There's now a calendar which has just been created, so there's not much on it yet. We're on there, though. Free Talk Live is on the calendar. And I didn't put us there. It was the guy who made the calendar, which is pretty cool. One of the ForkFest fans or attendees, whatever you want to call them, created this calendar. So one of the things that's neat about ForkFest is it's completely decentralized. Last year, there were two calendars that were competing with one another. This year, the calendar was made kind of last minute, so there's only one of them. So it just depends on what the market comes up with and what people are inspired to do on their own volition. And, of course, there's also the Telegram chat room and the ForkFest forum, and you can link to all of those things over at forkfest.party. We'll look forward to seeing you up at Rogers Campground. It's not too late to register your campsite, and I think you can still just show up and register a campsite, but it's probably best to go ahead and give the campground a call and see what the options are and book your campsite over the phone or do it on their website. Rogers Campground is the venue. We will look forward to seeing you there. Forkfest.party.
No doubt the sooner you do it, the better your campsite's going to be.
Yeah, and it's going to be great, too, because you'll be surrounded by people who actually care about freedom. And, of course, don't forget liberty.menu. Also, there's an RSVP that you can do over there. And liberty.menu is a great site for libertarians to advertise their business or the things that they're doing for more freedom. So we continue. Your calls and thoughts are welcome. Let's go to Gene, the Christian anarchist. He's on our Discord server. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, I called about COVID stats, but before that, I got to say something about that Yard Woody.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is I don't want to talk about anything but the Wilton Woody right now.
WiltonWoody.com.
That's all I want to talk about.
I grew up in the 60s, and I thought that we were actually making progress against prudism in this country. But I've wanted for years now to go to Japan for their once-a-year penis festival that they have.
I've heard about this.
They have these huge carved statues of erect penises that they haul through the streets in a big parade, and people are riding them, and everybody's taking their pictures with them, and they got lollipops shaped that way. I mean, everything is
the whole
just,
deal.
And it's just a lot of fun. And I mean, I don't know why we've got to be such a bunch of prudes in this country. I mean, it makes me sick. Right. There's a lot of things lately make me sick, but
I'm with you.
But not COVID-19. I haven't gotten sick from COVID-19. And I wanted to talk about some stats.
Let's hear it.
Carry on yesterday's trend. Because I've said that I would like to see stats regarding how many people have died from everything, not just COVID-19. And it turns out I didn't have to do all this work because somebody else did. It's ageofautism.com. And, this their whole thing, their whole spiel is they don't want forced vaccinations. And I don't think you should do forced vaccinations either. And they're saying that perhaps vaccinations cause some of these diseases like SIDS in the infants. And their whole slant of going through these numbers is they find that the deaths of infants have actually gone down over this time. And one of the things that changed is kids aren't going to get their immunization shots. And he said there's a report that doctors are saying they're not seeing as many SIDS cases in the emergency room. But whether that's the case or not, that's not what I called about. I called because he has got some great charts regarding the data that we do have, even as flawed as it is, but it's all straight from the CDC. And if you look at that website, at some of these charts, one of them is U.S. deaths per week from all causes, just how many people died this week.
I've been watching the same chart over at the CDC. And it's got a line on it, a gold line that indicates where the excess deaths are, and anything above that is considered an excess death. Is that correct?
No, this one has a chart of different color lines for different years.
Okay.
And it shows the weeks in March and April spiking in deaths. It goes up quite a bit.
The peak week in April, week ending April the 11th, had 78,000 deaths in it. But the highest week of the flu season was 59,000. So almost 60,000. So basically, you're seeing again a 25% increase at the highest week.
Right, and according to this chart that he's got, is currently as of the 20th week, the death rate is currently the same as the previous year. So we actually are seeing no more deaths now from all causes than what we've seen on previous years.
What's the current week? According to that chart, can you mouse over it and see?
Well, the data only goes up to 20. I'm looking at a printed out one because I printed it up.
So I'm looking at the chart at the CDC right now, and I look at this thing every day.
Wow.
And I've been following it, so I have some idea of how it charts out over time. The June the 6th was the most recent week, and it stopped there at this point. And yes, it is under the sort of acceptable death amount limit, but we also don't know, because this was at the time that they opened things up, that number isn't completely reported. So it may still go up, and it may actually spike up. I don't know. But I've been keeping an eye on it. What we've seen up to this point is that there was this peak week, which was April the week ending April the 11th, and everything's been down since then. And it frustrates all the people I know that are like these, the COVID is going to kill us, right? Like I send them
all the Karens.
Yeah, I send them this chart, and I show it to them, and I'm just like, well, show me on this chart where the internet hurt you.
You're right. And then they got another chart here that shows how it breaks down year by year, and of course, it's very predictable. The older you get, the higher the death rates go. And the youngest people barely get hit by this thing. I mean, it doesn't kill hardly anybody in the young age groups. And another chart shows total deaths per week versus COVID deaths of different pneumonias and influenza. And you'll see, if you look at that chart, that the COVID-19 deaths almost touches the total deaths on a couple of weeks there, and that's awful suspicious. So it's to me, that seems to indicate that they're taking deaths that normally would be influenza deaths and calling them COVID deaths, because
they get paid more, right, when they do that.
Right, and the influenza line is very flat and actually drops a bit.
So what's the website again?
Is influenza working on a comeback? Do they have any strategic changes they're going to make to pull this out?
I'm sure they'll probably pull that one out of their hat too. But yeah, it's called ageofautism.com. It's a very well written article, and I highly recommend you look through it. It's pretty interesting.
I'm about ready to sell my stock in diabetes because they're not killing people like they should be.
Thank you, Gene, for the call tonight. Sure. Definitely appreciate hearing from you. And wow. Any other comments on the COVID situation?
I want to talk about the Wilton Woody.
You really got that on the
I think
penis
that's great.
on the mind. Huh?
I just think it's wonderful. Yeah. This guy, it's just like, the best solution I have to my problem is a giant wooden penis carved with a chainsaw. It is beautiful.
He's seriously sporting that Woody.
Yeah, he's even carved the veins into the thing too. Like, it's a really intricate. By the way, he just joined our Discord server. So if you would like to speak with the gentleman from WiltonWoody.com, at least someone claiming to be him, has joined the Discord server. He says, "You guys called it. I just got a message from News Channel 13. They're coming by tomorrow."
Nice. So, I hope dude is going to start a GoFundMe because he's fighting for our freedom more than the military ever did. And somebody ought to shoot him a few bucks.
That's a great plan.
Well, you can do that at his website, WiltonWoody.com. But I would also ask him, hey, don't forget that you mentioned it on Free Talk Live when you talked to the Channel 13 people.
13.
Yeah, hey, if you make $1 million, cut us in, bro.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Online in the meantime, freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's Discord, LRN.FM.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,726, silver at $17.54, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,400. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, a 25-year-old woman named Hannah Pfizer was shot and